Okay. Winter break is now over.
Oh! Oh! Oh, yes!
New content is coming. New shows is coming. This won't be the video where I discuss it, but suffice to say, if you're looking for detailed explanations on things, this is going to be the year where you get them. Also, yes, I have signed up for the NGS beta, so, cross your fingers for me. I'll try to have as much data as possible if I get in, guys. But, as if you weren't already surprised or anything, as you well know, today we're going to be discussing the Hunter skill tree. But Zax, you kind of sort of talked about skill trees in the class reviews. Yes, well see, the class reviews are not the same as, here's why my setup looks like my setup. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, but I'm gonna fucking say it anyway for the umpteenth billionth time. I am not telling you how to play the game, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just remember, what I'm actually here to do, for lack of a better term, is just show you, point blank, how and why I made the decisions I did. But I'm obviously going to find an empty block first. So, let's go ahead and take a look at my skill tree on my class. Okay, first and foremost, let me just say that most skill trees have somewhere for you to deviate between what side you like to go down. For me, or at least in my case, when it comes to Hunter, I practically noticed almost immediately the right-hand side is meant for defensive options, and the left-hand side is meant for offensive options. And things that are near the middle, still kind of defensive. Flash guard, guard stance, all that jazz. Now, just so we're clear, I will not be telling you this thing on this tree is ass. This one over here, that's hot booty garbage. You don't want that in your mouth. I'm just solely explaining why I made the decisions I made with my skill tree. Some of my skills trees aren't complete. Some of them are complete. And some of them I'm going to reset, in the immediate future. But for the time being, because I've done it fairly recently, I can go over why I've made the decisions I have and also possibly enlighten people and show you how I came to the conclusions. So you want to think of this more like a indirect instruction or how I came up with my stuff situation, kind of like More Pseudo America. Annotation, click it after you finish watching the video. Next jump, step, gest, and step. This isn't a question. This is more like a who isn't using these. Originally, or I hate to say it, but back in my day, as old as that makes anyone sound, double jumping for every single class was not actually a thing. So please enjoy the hell out of this. As soon as you hit level 40, just reversal I've almost never found a true use for depending on what class you're on, and by depending on what class I mean about 80%. You see, you have to get hit, and in the middle of your recovery animation, you get a just attack frame and barrier, the red barrier around your character. Here's my problem with that. If something just hit me, especially if I'm a hunter of all things, I'm not immediately going into attack mode because more than likely it knocked me out of the range I can hit it with. I'm a hunter. All my weapons except for one are close range. Do I have photon arcs I can do long range stuff? Yes, I do. But here's the thing. What are the odds I'm going to specifically have that weapon equipped and be able to pull that up immediately after recovering, or even think to do that? My first thought is this the only assault I'm going to get hit with? Do I need to be blocking or do I need to be dodging? It's a reflex I've developed over time. So I practically disregarded any chance I see it. Air reversal is the one you really want to focus on. By the way, this also didn't used to exist. Back in my day, in beta/season 1, if anything knocked you in the air, you were just in that motion till you hit the ground. But guess what? Sega never turned off your collision detection. So imagine getting knocked into a wall, your character doesn't splat up against the wall, which, normally what turns off collision detection. You're just spiraling in a circle until something else connects with you or you hit the ground. First arts is a no-brainer. Start every single combo with a just attack frame. We all know we love it. Step jump, well, I'm not even sure why this is even on the skill tree. This should just be an automatic given. Give me that 1 point back. Sega, you can easily just put this where it needs to be, which is not even on the list. Make it an automatic function for every single class. If you know that you get hurt a lot as a hunter, I would recommend maxing this out as well as your defense. But like I said, play the game how you want to play. However, I just did it because there are some bare minimums I want to unlock. And in order to get to the certain sides of the skill tree, I got to go further down. As you can see, just attack alone, I need to make sure I have at minimum level 5 HP boost. So no matter what happens, you're gonna get that HP boost of at least 50? Oh no, 18. A dismal ass 18. Oh my god, at max. That is, I forget how depressing that was. Okay. Furthermore, there's practically no inherent dexterity boosters on Hunter as a class. So let's say, for example, you're just not using a sub, or you got a sub that's really good and it synergizes well, but your dexterity, again, is practically non-existent. Do you have a mag that's 100% dexterity? Probably not. Take your dexterity where you can get it. And just a reminder, and I'll try to have this on screen because, you know, people don't understand this, and Sega has yet to even truly explain it to the North American side, who I'm assuming is looking at this video based on statistics. Dexterity is a very, very powerful damage determiner. For some reason, criticals do not work in the traditional sense that they do in this game, and neither does dexterity. I'm gonna give you an example. If I'm level 1 and you're level 1, your damage fluctuates between doing 3 and 5. And if you get a critical, it fluctuates between doing 6 damage and 10 damage. Now, if I have 100% absolute all dexterity maxed up and I'm level 1, my damage will only be, unless I'm under a status effect, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Because dexterity determines the likelihood of hitting at the maximum potential damage you can do at that given point in time. If I'm level 100, you're level 100. You never cared about dexterity. You could be fluctuating between 15, 20,000 damage, and I'm always doing 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. Why did Sega do this? Man, I don't fucking know. The Sega giveth and the Sega taketh away. You know, I actually kind of miss saying that. I know it's been a while. High level bonus is just, well, for lack of a better term, it's your final form of attack augmentation, usually on the skill tree. All these abilities, or at least these two in particular that aren't connected, on every single skill tree, the first thing you're going to notice is that they're always, you need to be level 80 or 85, no matter who you are, and they're never connected to the skill tree. It's because they're considered to be extremely premium abilities. And also, they're some of the last abilities you can even get. Gelin, which is originally, or a lot of people like to think is initially reserved for Phantom, you're kind of not wrong. This was initially one of the only other ways you could apply Gelin if you were any form of close range attacker. And I do mean that. Gelin was one of the rarest status effects in the game, and kinda sorta still is, since its inception. It wasn't even here in the beginning of the game. If memory serves, Gelin didn't come out until Season 3, but there were bullets, or I'm sorry, special ammunition that are on the Ranger that could emulate Gelin. That was basically it. If you weren't a Ranger, you didn't have access to Gelin. In fact, let me just say this. If you're not a Ranger or a Hunter or a Phantom, you practically can't initiate Gelin. I don't know why they chose to do that. It's very, very strange that Gelin is such a rare status effect. But if you have any interest in weakening your enemies outside of the guard abilities, which we'll get into later, I recommend War Tract. High level bonus is, I'm going to put it in the category of no-brainer. Power boost 105%. So no matter what you have, you're getting that 105, or I guess 0.5, depending on how you look at it. I'm not good with math. I'm not going to pretend I am. Boost. So that means if you never touch strike attack, which gives you 50. If you never touch level 2, 75. And 100. And by the way, these all combine. It doesn't just go 50 and then 75 and just stops at 100. It's 50 plus 75 plus 100. You still get a potential booster. Also, why would you not get these? These are flat stat buffs. I know a lot of people like to say your percentage is really what counts. Well, those meta hounds will say whatever they want to that involves meta. But listen to me. If you're new to the game, you are actually new to this class. You want to see where it can go and what you can get out of it. Flat stat buffs increase how quickly you get to a newer weapon category. Or they make sure you can equip weapons once you reach cap. Despite what you may believe or what your friends and family and other players tell you if they haven't been around long enough, it is very common for someone to get a weapon that has a stat requirement that they can't meet at level 100, or I'm sorry, back in the day, level 75 or 85 or 95. In fact, to this day, even though I'm a Phantom, I have a 15 star that I can almost practically never equip. That's a rod, because as you can see, there's no flat stat boosters on this entire skill tree. So seriously, get your flat stat boosters when it comes to attack. If you're looking for defense, get those. If you want to just hit things hard and get better equipment faster, I can't recommend these enough. A lot of people don't truly care about their value, but I do. All guard. All guard, which as you can see is not attached to anything, so you can almost go straight to it. When you block, your character will automatically block in any direction he's being hit by. So if something hits you from the front and you're facing the left or the back, you're covered. Period. You're just covered. That being said, yeah, sword gear, wired lance gear, partisan gear. Sword gear, well, depending on the photon art, your charge speed is reduced, your number of hits increase, and your attack range increases. The more gauge you have, the more, well, for lack of a better term, power and effects you'll see behind it. But that also applies for all of these other ones. So yeah, you legit can't go wrong with getting any of these. No brainers. Now let's go to the somewhat debatable section. We're going to start with defense because here's some weird shit. Defense can, on some level, possibly make you stronger. Physically, not just, DFP wise. All right, so let's go down to, at max level, you get 150% power increase for 60 seconds. And all you got to do is get one good jest guard during guard stance. So basically, it's a power boost that emulates the Braver style, which is counter after a block. But you're not going to counter, you're just going to take reduced damage. And for 60 seconds, you get 150% power boost. So let's do some quick math real quick, and I'll put it on screen. I might jump cut this later. It's 225. Now 225 plus 150%, that's a nice number right there. So the real question you need to ask yourself is, how patient do you want to be with your power? Because remember, this number, you can still add 105% to. Because remember, when you're high level, you get high level bonus. That's 105%. So that means, depending on how you play and the situation, you have the potential, just because you decided to go down the defense route, to get a power that's so insanely good that it completely and totally eclipses other things, not to mention War Brave. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, I mean, guard stance advance is cool, but I want to do high damage. I want to just beat things within an inch of its life. I don't want to go down this side of the tree. I would still recommend automate half-line. It's not a no-brainer, but I would recommend it because sometimes it could be the difference between failing or succeeding in those raids. You have the just attack and you have the direct offensive, indirect and direct offensive side of the tree. Here's what I mean by that. Your just attack booster right here, when you cap it out, 110% striking and range. So if you have a sub that's gun related, everything on this side of the tree is going to boost you up too. Now Fury Stance, the original bad boy, when you first start getting it, it doesn't seem like it's worth it. But when you get it to max, there is no defense reduction anymore because its primary claim to fame is that you trade defense for power. But when you max it out, you just get the power, you don't get the defense reduction. And it's a passive. So it's always on whether this is your main class or not. And the max is 120%. And the just attack bonus is 110%. But there's also just attack bonus too. Same thing. So already we got over 200% boosting going on. But also we got a critical proc increase by 1/4, aka 25%. And Fury Boost. During Fury Stance increases damage for each successive just attack. 10% maximum bonus. So, what else we got on here? Fury Stance Boost 2. Max 105. Boost 1. Max 105. Now, we're just going to go through and we're going to add all of these things in the bottom left-hand corner individually by themselves together. 560 at a minimum. I'm pretty sure I might have missed something. Let me go back and check. 105. Oh, I'm good. And then let's not forget, we also increased our odds of a crit by 1/4. We added up all those base attacks. It came to about 225. So 225 plus 560%. 1,260 extra damage.
Oh! Oh, yes! Yes! Oh, hang on a second.
But this damage is more consistent. You only need to just level up things on this tree. And if you got a ranger class, going down this side could potentially be good for synergy. Imagine being a gunner, but you've got every single stat booster on the gunner tree. You went down the bottom left-hand side for hunter. So to summarize, you want to look at it this way. If you want to have consistent power and you're not interested in making sure your character is a sub so much as a main hunter, you know you go down this side. But if you want to get that maximum damage, you know you need guard stance advance, and once you get down here, try to get as much over here as possible. I will say this though, please remember, guard stance and fury stance do not mix well. Okay? Fury stance is only on if you have it unlocked when guard stance is off. Plus, guard stance can only be a main class ability. So like I said, if you want that synergy, you're going down this left side. But if you want to be in the front lines, you got to get your defense game up, because your defense road leads to Rome, and Rome is power. 150% worth. Plus, that 150% right there still can mix with high level bonus. So 150 plus 105. And on top of 150 and 105, there's another 110 from Rare Mastery Hunter, which I forgot to bring up earlier. My bad. But that just adds to the amount of damage percentages I brought up. So, just as an example, should you use my build? I mean, that's not up to me. That's up to you as a person or an individual. You could think your tree was meant to be, you know, a supportive situation as a hunter, which is weird. And you could have went down all the guard stances, which make you immune to fire and poison, like those are the only two things that can give you a status effect in this game, and decided you wanted to be more of a defensive or a tank that lives through everything. I'm not going to stop you. You go right ahead. Never Give Up is right there for you. After using Iron Will, you boost your strength attack for 60 seconds and increase invincibility duration. You get 300, but it's only 15 seconds. It's there. And you can pretty much mix it with everything because it's not that far down in a tree. Never Give Up plus guard stance advance, go right ahead. Never Give Up plus fury and all the just attacks, again, go right the hell ahead. Now, if you guys have any questions about Hunter, I'm just going to let you know right now. Yes, I've been playing Hunter in the Phantasy Stars franchise for over a fucking decade. Damn near 15 to 20 years at this point. No, 20 years. I've been playing Hunters for 20 years. So I can give you basic advice, or I can even just play the back in my day shit used to suck game with you. I don't mind it. I can only directly recommend that people play the game how they want to play and you have as much fun without stressing yourself as possible. If chasing meta doesn't hurt you, I don't know why you clicked on this video, but thank you for it. I'm not going to tell you to go away, but if you want to just mess around or you're curious about the alternate path to any skill tree or any class you play, we're going to try to do videos for you. All right, with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Stay safe out there. Hopefully, we can have a Happy New Year. I feel like it's a little too early for anyone to say Happy New Year, at least in my country. And I wish you guys the best of luck. Oh, and yes, I'm aware I didn't cover every single thing meticulously on the skill tree.